My name is Dan James. I'm running for prosecuting attorney on the Republican ticket here in Hampshire County. For the past 5 years, I've served, well, actually almost the past 6 years, I've served as an assistant prosecutor in Morgan County. Prior to that, I worked for the West Virginia Supreme Court of Appeals as a law clerk. In Martinsburg, I was assigned to Judge David H. Sanders. There's one of 5 judges that currently sit in that circuit. It's probably, or arguably, the busiest circuit in West Virginia. So I had 2 years of experience working with him. After I completed my clerkship with the Supreme Court, I was offered several processing jobs in the area, but I decided to continue in public service, and I've been an assistant prosecutor for the past 5.5 years, almost 6 years in Morgan County. During my tenure there as an assistant prosecutor, I prosecuted several thousand misdemeanor cases as well as felony cases as well. I've had over 35 jury trials, including 5 different murder cases. I was also have been part of the drug forfeiture task there in the county. We have forfeited over $100,000 from drug dealers in the county. That money has been reinvested back into law enforcement. In 2008, I was awarded a grant by the West Virginia Prosecuting Attorneys Institute and flown down to Columbia, South Carolina for training with the National District Attorneys Association. Had some training with the Child Advocacy Center, which I received a grant from them. It was flown out to Alabama for training with child abuse and neglect proceedings. In 2010, I was named a special prosecutor by the West Virginia Secretary of State in an election fraud investigation, and most recently in 2011 and 2012, I was one of 10 assistant prosecutors across the entire state of West Virginia to be a recipient of the John R. Justice Grant, which is awarded by the Division of Justice and Community Service and by Governor Tomlin. Well, I think the biggest thing is that there's a lot of crime that's occurring in this county, and I don't think it always has been followed through. Last year, I was called by the state police and members of the Hampshire County Sheriff's Department to ask me to run. And the main concern that I heard from law enforcement here in this county is that there's a lot of crimes that they're going out and they're working, they're investigating, they're making arrests on these drug cases, sexual assaults, other types of domestic batteries, other felonies, and that they're bringing them into the court system, and then for whatever reason they're being dismissed. If you look from 2008 until 2012, there was 116 felonies that were dismissed by the Hampshire County Circuit Court. That's unheard of. As a prosecutor, you have a quasi-judicial role, which you make sure that justice is administered and that you prosecute crimes that are supported by probable cause. Every single one of these 116 felony cases were brought on by the Sheriff's Department, the State Police, the town here in Romney, and Cape and Bridge. Every single one of those cases were supported by probable cause found by the magistrates here in Hampshire County. For whatever reason, all 116 of them were dismissed for failure to prosecute. So I think there needs to be a stronger role with the prosecutor. They need to enforce these crimes to make sure that the people that are being charged with these crimes, that the prosecuting attorney's office is following through. I have not seen the budget that's actually been set for the prosecuting attorney's office. I can tell you personally, based upon the budget that was set for the Morgan County Prosecutor's office, we're always under budget with our office. It is a small budget. If we ever need experts, usually we're able to work with the West Virginia Prosecuting Attorneys Institute, and they have experts for us, but we have always been under budget through the Prosecuting Attorney's office in Morgan County. As I stated before, the prosecuting attorney exercises a quasi-judicial role. You have to bring cases that must be supported by probable cause. You have a duty to filter out those cases that are not supported by probable cause. You are, in essence, an officer of the court that helps to administer justice and make sure that the cases that are brought fairly, and that everyone is treated fairly, no matter what their social, economic status is. One shouldn't be treated any differently because they occupy a certain role or occupation here in Hampshire County or wherever they may be from. The other roles of the prosecutor: we are the statutory attorneys for the Department of Health and Human Resources. Basically, our role is to aid in a strict attorney-client relationship with the Department of Health and Human Resources, to aid in the prosecution of abuse and neglect cases. Obviously, the interest in those cases are the best interest of the child. We're also the statutory attorneys for all the elected officials here in Hampshire County. So if there's a legal question with the county commission, with one of the other departments, we are their counsel to help them with those legal issues. I have an excellent track record as a prosecutor. I've never had a single misdemeanor dismissed, let alone a felony charge being dismissed. If they would take a look at my website, it's danjames2012.com. If they want to, if they feel free, please contact law enforcement in Morgan County. They'll be able to give a good reference of my experience with those officers in the courtroom. And feel free to talk to the law enforcement up here in Hampshire County with regards to those individuals that have contacted me to run for office up here in Hampshire County.